What up everybody, it's your girl July from Kickback, Couture, and today I'm going to show you how to make R&B chord progressions from scratch, no MIDI plugins needed. We're going to make this. R&B chord progressions. So I have this preset that came from a Reason Plus pack, and it's called R&B Keys, and it comes with a chord progression in it, but we're not going to use that chord progression. If you want to hear it, you just hit that run button. Now I'm gonna change a few things on this preset to fit the vibe that I'm going for right now. Cool, so let's get to the sequencer. Pop in a clip, drop in the clip, extend the sequencer, and we're just going to pick a note, pick a key. And if you don't know keys and scales, then you can easily use this scales and chords player as a guide. So you can go for any key and just go back and forth between the minor and major till you feel like you're comfortable with those. Then you can experiment with like Lydian and stuff like that. Let's go with F. Drag it up, and let's build our first chord. So when you're building a chord, you're gonna go skip a note. You skip a note in your scale. So every other note, a better way to show you the scale, instead of me accidentally pressing the wrong keys because my mouse is slow, would be to just show you on the scales and chords player, which is the ones that are in blue. And if you want a major, this is what it looks like. So go back here and you figure out what you want to hear. So in order to build a minor chord, your pattern will be 2, 3. So you have 2 spaces in between the first and second note and 3 spaces in between the second and third note. So that's the minor chord. And then a major chord, your spaces will be 3 and 2. So now in order to build onto this, if you want to create a bigger chord, then you would just alternate. So 2, 3, to create a minor 7th, you add another 2 at the top. And then for the minor, you'd add 3 at the top. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. So that's a minor right there, and this is a major. I'm gonna stick with the major. Bring that over, and let's duplicate that. I'm gonna bring it up to the 3rd scale degree, which is the 3rd note in the scale. 2, 3. Let's see how this sounds. And it sounds weird. If you pay attention, we're definitely out of the scale. Now there isn't, out of the key and scale, there isn't really rules in R&B. So don't worry too much about being out of the scale. But if you need to switch it, it's pretty easy to go from 3, 2, 3 to 2, 3, 2. So we'll drop that down. And I like how that sounds. So let's kind of play with the rhythm. Let's shorten this. Make this one longer. And we'll start with our next chord. Let's see what this sounds like. And let's just build the chord and we can always move it. So 2, 3, 2. And again, for the gap I'm picking first is just what the scale looks like. So if I was to do 3, this note isn't in the scale. But again, experiment. No rules. So I like how that sounds. I actually love how that sounds. So I can hear this going to another note, and it's that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw on the next note, and I'll show you how to build the chord from the top. Same principle. We're just going to go down 2 or 3 notes depending on what's in scale, what's in the key. So we can do 2 here. 3 might not sound that good, but you can try it. 3, 2. So we like how that sounds. Now, if we wanted to make one of these chords bigger, of course you can make it a 9th chord, which is bigger than a 7th. You can make it an 11th chord, and you just continue that 2-3-2 pattern, right? With the minor, major, dominant, just continue that pattern. So if we wanted to expand this chord right here, we can just bring it down 3 notes. And let's see how that sounds. And it kind of sounds nice. So let's add some more bass notes to these. Another easy trick is to just select the bottom notes and duplicate it. And this just makes the chord sound thicker. And I would like to also add this one down. So bring this down as well. And is this the right note? No, it's supposed to be a C. Cool. So we got some thick chords here, but we can make them sound even bigger. And how we do that is by adding inversions. So we can take any of these notes, bring them up or down octaves. I would actually move them up because we want to keep our bass notes intact for now, but you can of course experiment with it. I want to keep those where they are. So let's move the second and third note of the chord up. And for this one, we can move these 2 up. And let's grab some of these notes here and move these up as well. And we're going to do the same thing here. And again, you can also expand this chord instead of moving the notes up. Now you can still invert it like so. And then we can add that 3, which would be the next step in the pattern. The notes would be kind of close together, so let's see how it sounds. They are close together. I mean, not kinda. They are a step away. And that could be a kind of creepy sound, but it actually sounds better in this case. So let's actually try moving this key up. And let's hear this chord. I like that. So let's hear this again. Love it. So let's duplicate that and we'll add some variation to the second half of it. For the second half, why don't we just take this last chord and move it this way. So we'll have like a quick spot for a turnaround. And just some variation so that we can go back to the beginning and it doesn't sound too repetitive. Another thing you can do is move some of these notes around. You have so many options and sounds you can manipulate with the chords because you have all of these notes. So maybe try inverting a different way. Move the notes around a bit. Add notes, expand the chords. Here we can do a 2-3 pattern. Let's see how that sounds. Sounds a bit hectic, so let's get rid of this note. I'm gonna move this one down and let's try moving. No, I don't want to go that high. try that one. Cool. Now for this turnaround, let's listen to what we might play. I think I want to shorten this even more, so it'll be about there. And let's see. This is the bass line. This is what the bass line is doing. We're going. And we're in F major. So we could try a 2-5-1 turnaround, which would be, so 2, back to the 1. It would sound like that. The second note, the fifth note, the first note. We can do a number of other things as well. We could go 4, 5. We could do that as well. But I like how the 2-5-1 sounds. It sounds smoother. So let's go ahead and draw those notes in. And we'll figure out the timing here in a second. Yeah, perfect. So let's build these chords, right? So these are the bass notes. So we'll duplicate these up above. So let's build onto this chord. 2. So 2, 3, 2, and we can keep going. 3. Like how that sounds. Build this chord. That's not in the scale, so we'll just go 3, 2, 2. Like how that sounds. Let's invert these notes. Let's just do this one a couple times. This one once. That one once. I'm gonna bring this back down. And let's move that up. We'll move this one up. And we'll see about what note we should add there. Let's try to add this note so it keeps stepping down like these other notes. Cool. So I don't like one of the notes that plays during this chord, I believe. So I'm just going to move, it's this top note. I'm gonna move that back down. Cool. So after you get your notes figured out, everything sounds good and smooth to you. What you should do is add some variation again. So let's go ahead and open up the tool window with F8. If F8 doesn't work for you, just come up to Window, Show Tool Window. So I'm just going to randomize it, and you can select a percentage. Hold down Shift and drag to deselect the notes I don't want to affect. So let's apply here. Hit that a couple times. Few hundred, however, whatever feels comfortable. Listen to it, see what it sounds like. And then let's select the bass notes. And I'm going to randomize that by 10% instead. Cool. Now let's hear it. Top note is a little loud, so we can manually change that. I'm just going to take that note out. It's bothering me. So now what I would do is randomize the timing a little bit of each note. Now there's strum features and stuff like that, and other DAWs you can also manually strum these notes. There's another thing you can do that is kind of more realistic than a strum that's in the same timing every time, and that's just by randomizing the notes. So I'd like to click on this tick area and maybe come up to 19. and then I just hit apply a few times or a few hundred times, and it'll kind of wiggle the notes around. You can even move it up and more ticks than that, but be careful that it's not too weird. Cool. I want to move these notes down. Think it flows better into the next part. And boom, that is how you create a R&B chord progression from scratch. Just pick a scale, pick a note, look up the scale for it, major or minor, see what sounds better for you. Go to another note, kind of lead into the next note, play the bass note, play where you think it should go. You could build it from the top, you can build it from the bottom, and just experiment with the major, minor, dominant chords, and even diminished. And we could go over diminished chords in another video. I realized I didn't go over that. So let me know if you would like to see another video like this. If you got some value from this video, give it a like and comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know some of your favorite techniques and what you would like to see next. It's all culture, kickback, cook up.